Man, what's up, man? I wanted to do this video. I've been seeing a lot of people making statements and calling different black people sellouts. Whether they be political figures, whether they be, just different people that we've been seeing in the media. And I've been seeing a lot of black people jeering, making jokes, calling different individuals sellouts. And we got to come to accept the fact that a lot of these black people who we call sellouts, we created those monsters. Yeah, we did. Say, LP, I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't do it. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? They made their bed and they laid in it, and they chose to be a sellout. All right. Now, let's look at the dynamics from a social perspective, from a cultural perspective. I say this all the time on a consistent basis. We need a new culture. The culture that we've created, it sucks. LP, what you mean? I'll give you an example of an individual who could turn into a sellout. All right. Like I said, a lot of these people are, upper echelon Negroes. They got a lot of money. They got high positions. They're doing things, you know what I'm saying? We see them out front or whatever the case may be. And I want you to rewind the clock, rewind the time on some of those people's lives. They were the kids that got their lesson. They were the kids who did their work. They were the kids who went to school and handled their business, right? The kids that got their work, got their lesson done, did their work, this, that, and the other, those were the kids that we gave a hard time. Those were the kids that we ostracized. Those were the kids that we laughed at. We made jokes about them. We gave them a hard time. Those were the kids who spoke correctly. You remember? Those kids who spoke correctly, you remember what we said about them? We said they talk white. We said they think they white. We laughed at them. We mocked them. This one particular guy, man, I can remember. You know what I'm saying? We used to. I don't want to talk about that because I get to talking about it and people watching. You know what I'm saying? Happy Monday. People watching right now, they gonna know exactly who people that grew up with me on the coast, they gonna know exactly who I'm talking about. But anyway, we made fun of those cats. And so whenever they got opportunity, whenever they got, you think about the dynamics of how the people that went to prison, the ones that went to jail, the ones that went off to training school or whatever the case may be, when they came back, we threw a party for them. You see what I'm saying? We threw a party for them. The whole block came out. You know what I'm saying? It was a celebration. But for the ones that went off to college, when they came back from college, man, that nigga, he think he all that. You remember that? You remember that? We ain't celebrate the black people in the community that came home from college. We ain't celebrate them. But the ones that came home from jail, we celebrated them. We threw a party, right? So the educated black people in the community, with them coming home and they seeing that they're not celebrated for having brains. If you remember, the ones who were smart, they got bullied, they got picked on, you know what I'm saying? They got talked about, they got alienated, you know what I'm saying? You know, man, what's up? What's up, big homie? We laughed at them, you know what I'm saying? We made jokes about them, you know what I mean? We pushed them to the side. They couldn't come sit at the table with us at the cafeteria, you know what I'm saying? We laughed at they gear, we laughed at their shoes and all that other stuff. We did that. We created that monster. So whenever they went off to college, you know what I'm saying? And they went off to college and, you know, they linked up with people that accepted them. They linked up with people that, you know, received them. They linked up with people that loved them, right? And so a lot of times those people that received them and accepted them didn't look like us. So when they got positions of power, whether it be management, whether it be politician, whether it be, and we looked at them and now we're working for them, right? And now they're mistreating the common black folks. And we want to call them a sellout. Well, if you could remember, this same person that we calling a sellout, we picked on them. We laughed at them. We made jokes about them. We didn't accept them. Remember? Remember that? You remember we went to the little dudes, the cool little dudes. We went to their football game. We went to their basketball game. We cheered them on. But we ain't go to the little smart dudes. We ain't go to their little science fair or they debate, you know what I'm saying, or they math derby, you know what I'm saying, or they spelling bees. We ain't go to that. And we ain't celebrate that. Right? Remember? So, because we didn't celebrate them, we didn't affirm them, we didn't accept them and receive them, when they moved on in life and they became somebody, now we putting this expectation on them to work on our behalf. Now we putting that expectation on them to do something for us, to help us, save us, fix our problems. And then we get mad because they go and work on behalf of other people groups. And they go and utilize their gifts, talents, and ability for the sake of other people groups. We want to get mad. So my question is, why are we getting mad? If we created that monster. We created that monster, right? Yep, we did that. So how are we going to make the necessary adjustments? Because if we don't, that cycle is going to continue. And we're going to have this. And this came about by me listening to people saying little stuff, you know what I'm saying, of course, about this particular attorney that did what he did. And then I saw a meme that had different black people and said, all skin folk ain't your kinfolk, right? But why don't we reflect on how we treat the skin folk who we claim they're not our kinfolk? How did we treat them? How did we do them? How did we handle them? We handled them very poorly. We treated them very poorly. We pushed them to the side. We didn't accept them. We made jokes about them. We cracked on them. We mocked them about how they talk. We did that. And then you get mad. You know, I'm talking to you ladies now. I'm talking to you ladies. You remember the little dude, you treated him, you know, the little dude, he really liked you. You see what I'm saying? He really, really liked you. But you called him a nerd. You say you don't want no nerd. You called him a lame. You say you don't want no lame. You don't want, man, I ain't messing with that lame. You remember that? You shot that dude down. You remember he was in 11th grade. Remember when you did that to that boy? You shot him down. Called him a lame. You said he was a nerd. All that. You remember that? So now you mad because he went off, became a doctor, right? And he got a white girl. And y'all mad. Look at him. Look at him. And she ain't even cute. But she accepted him. She received him. Right? But you called him a nerd. You called him a lame. And that stuck with him. And he got in his mind, I don't want no parts of that. So you mad because he wanted him a white girl now. We need to stop and evaluate the culture that we have, in which these people who we are calling sellouts, we created them. It seems that bullying is especially rampant in the African American community. Am I wrong on this? It's happening in the white community also. You got white people being bullied. This is an element that a lot of people don't know about. You ever thought about how everybody, you know, whenever they want to help the poor, you know, they immediately go to the black community to help the poor black kids? Well, what about the poor white kids that live in a very expensive, exclusive area and their family cannot afford to live there, but the family wants to keep their children in that environment around their own people? So they live in hand to mouth and they're poor, right? But they live in a very expensive neighborhood in a very expensive home, right? I've got an opportunity to talk to white kids that, you know what I'm saying, they were poor, you know what I'm saying, and their family, you know what I'm saying, well, they had, you know, they had more money than the average, but they was living in a very exclusive community so that they can live in a nice part of town. You know what Lorenzo, you know what I'm talking about when I say this. They live across the mountain, right? They live across the mountain, but their parents struggling. So those kids go to school, you know what I'm saying? And when those white kids get to school, all the other white kids, they driving Benzes, Beamers, you know what I'm saying, Audis, you know what I'm saying, big F-150 trucks, you know what I'm saying, brand new, this, that, and the other. But this particular kid, they folks ain't got it like that. So this kid ain't, you know, he ain't got no car. So when he get to school, the other little white kids know that they broke, know that this kid is broke. So they messing with him and they give him a hard time and they bullying him. That's the type of bullying a lot of white kids are experiencing. So my question for that is, you know, who's, you know, everybody, you know, who's going to help the black kids in the ghetto, you know, and everybody work to go and help the black kids in the ghetto. Well, who's helping the poor white kids in the across the mountain? You see what I'm saying? So yes, bullying goes on in the white community in a major way. Them white kids giving each other hell. So, but I'm just dealing in particular in the black community in which you see black people turn totally against black people and will work totally against black people. And we wonder why. We want you know what I'm saying? He a sellout. You know, you don't make jokes about the sellout, right? But we forget that we created that monster. We gave that boy hell when he was in school. You remember that. You remember that. I don't know if you did it, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I just keep it all the way a buck, you know what I'm saying? I did stuff like that. Laughing at the little dude that talked proper, you know what I'm saying? Laughing at the little dude, you know what I'm saying? But in all actuality, I was jealous of him because, you know what I'm saying, he made the commitment to focus and hone in on his, and be focused on, and apply himself. You know what I'm saying? I could have been one of the smart kids. You know what I'm saying? I know I could have. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to apply myself because I wanted to be cool. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to try to be cool. So I wasn't able to be one of the smart kids. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to try to be cool. I'm musically inclined. I love music, but I don't know how to play an instrument. You want to know why I don't know how to play an instrument? Because I thought I was too cool to try to learn how to play an instrument. I thought I was too cool to get in the band. You know what I'm saying? Trying to fit an image of somebody who I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And so, saying all that to say, bro, we got to do better, man. We got to teach our children, like, you know what I'm saying? Stop with this foolishness that if somebody talks correctly, they talk white. Stop saying that. Just because a kid want to get their lesson and do their work, why are we saying that they think they white? You understand? That's terrible, bro. That's a horrible mentality that we have. And we passing that stuff down to our children. And so now you got these little dudes, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? These little dudes, they ain't had a struggle in their life. I'm talking about mama and daddy got a job. You understand? They bills getting paid. They don't live nowhere, nobody's hood. None of that. And you got these little dudes trying to be street niggas. Oh, I'm a street nigga. I'm a hood nigga. Boy, stop, boy. Stop. Making songs talking about I got it out the mud. Boy, you ain't getting nothing out no mud. You ain't getting nothing out no mud. Shut up. You got an allowance every week. Talking about you got it out the mud. Boy, you got an allowance every week. What is you saying? You got an allowance every week and you talking about you got it out the mud. Boy, stop. Cut it out. Coming to school, got every pair of Jordans that come out. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I remember you either got one pair of shoes per year, you either got it back to school or you got it for Christmas, one or the other. And mama had to miss a bill to get them shoes. I remember that. You know what I'm saying? Your mama buying you Jordans, you wearing designer clothes, all that. Your mama and daddy buying all that stuff for you. And they paying all their bills. You see what I'm saying? But you talking about, you rapping now, talking about you got it out the mud. Boy, stop. But I understand there's this social pressure that's on these children to fit the image of this hood nigga. You understand? And they getting ostracized because they speak correctly or because they're smart. You understand what I'm saying? We got to break that, man. We got to break that. We got to stop that. Because as I said, man, we are creating these monsters that we call sellouts, because we giving the little smart children hell, and then they grow up and they get seats of power. they get positions and things of that nature, do you honestly believe they finna work on our behalf? No. No. Not at all. Not at all. And we got to stop getting mad because we did that. We created that. We created that. And that's facts, man. That's facts.